So 5A is factor linear expressions. Factoring. Okay? We have not done a lot of factoring up until now, until 7th grade. You've done a little bit of factoring when you guys had to do prime factorization. Remember, you had to take a big number and break it down into all these little numbers?
Yeah.
Okay? You did some of that, but you have not done this with algebra. All right, so here's a definition that you may or may not know. This is called monomial. Monomial. Let me move it over. Okay? Yeah, like Monopoly. Okay? This is a number, variable, or a product. Product means multiply, right? Of a number and one or more variables. It's called a monomial. So it's a number. This is a little example down here. Or a variable, or a product of a number and a variable. Okay? You could also have, it says one or more variables, so you could have something like 40xy. That would work as well. So it says one or more variables. Okay? A factor is a number written as a product. Remember when you did prime factorization, you pulled them out and you put multiplied, like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Remember that? Written as a product of its factors. So product means multiply again. A factor is a number written as a product of its factors. So an example would be 8 equals 2 times 2 times 2. And in elementary school, you guys made little factor trees. Yeah, you loved them, huh?
Yeah, I loved it so much. I want to marry it.
All right. We're not going to do factor trees, but if you like factor trees, you're welcome to do them. I'm not going to make you draw those out.
I forgot how to do that.
All right. Okay. GFC, do you remember that?
Yeah.
The greatest common factor. Do you remember that term? Yep. Greatest means the biggest. Some people get this mixed up because they're thinking of fractions and they're doing LCD, lowest common denominator. This is the greatest, the biggest common product. So on the homework and on the quiz and on the test, when it says find the GFC, you know what they're asking you for. Okay, this is the greatest common factor. This is the biggest number that goes into both terms or 3 terms or 4 terms. It's the biggest number or variable. Yes?
It's GCF.
Whoa, you're right. GFC. I switched that, huh? Good call. I don't know where my brain was. I probably wrote this when I was sick. Okay, so GCF. Good call, Alexi. All right. Did anyone else notice that? You just didn't say anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe your brain is foggy like mine from having a cold.
Yep.
All right. So let's do an example, okay? Because this makes more sense when you actually have numbers. So we're gonna find. Oh, I did it wrong there too. I was really sick. All right. Find. I wonder if I did that through the whole thing. That's weird. GCF. All right. So here's 2 monomials. Okay. So I have 4x and 12x. These are 2 separate things, and I want to find the GCF. You know already? What do you think it is? It's 4 and what? 4 and? 4 and? X. You're right. Because look, and this is the long way. You don't have to do this the long way. But this is where it comes from. So 4x is 2 times 2 times x, right? This is the factor tree. 12x is 2 times 2 times 3 times x. Remember this? And you're trying to find pairs.
No.
You don't remember this from elementary school?
I do.
It was horrible. You hated it because you had to do so much more work.
I like it.
And then there's pairs. So whenever there's a pair, you could take one out. So I'm left with 2 times 2 times x, right? Because the pair, you can take one out. Remember? And the 3, what happened to the 3? You can't factor it out, so you just leave it there. So this is just 4x. What that means is, oh, I did it wrong there too. What that means is that 4x goes into both of these, right? Because 4x times 1 is 4x. 4x times 3 is 12x. Okay, that's all that means. Let's try another one. Let's see how many times I wrote GCF wrong.
Wait,
Yeah.
so, because you cancel out the 2 2's for 12x, and then,
Yeah.
so 2 times 2 is 4,
Mhm.
for 12 it's only 3, so 4 would be bigger than
That's the biggest number. Okay, 18a and 20ab. What's one thing these have in common right away? One letter. A. So we know A is part of the GCF. What other number can go into both of these evenly? Rihanna? What? 2 can go in. Is there anything else that can go in?
What's bigger?
Can 4 go in? Can 5 go in? Can 6 go in? So everyone says 2, right? Everyone says 2 and then the A, right? Okay, and you're right. And I wrote it wrong again. That's funny.
So it's whatever
Okay.
the biggest number?
Yep. So you can write it out or you can do what I just did. 2, 4, 6, just keep going. The A was pretty easy to see, right? Yeah. Okay. So some people like this better than the other stuff.
Yep.
All right, what about this one? I have 12 CD and 36 CD. What letters can I take out? CD, right? What goes into both of these? 12. You guys are smart. 12 CD. So this time I didn't write out all the steps because I think you got it now. This was easy? Yeah, our brains work well this way. What if I write it differently though? Let's see if we can trick you. I don't know. I think you guys are good at this, so let's see.
Write an odd number.
Let's see. Okay, try that one real quick. I just want to see if you.
Wait, read it down.
Can't see it.
There you go. Try that one. Tell me the G, C, F.
G.
Okay, what is it? Raise your hand when you know. Just raise your hand. Shh, raise your hand when you know. A couple people know. Maddie? Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
You're probably right. Josh L? 4. Good. You can't take a C out because the C is only on one of them, right? 4 goes into 12 and 4 goes into 28. Good job. Try this one. Raise your hand when you know. You guys are fast at these. Wow. Devin, what is it?
5.
5 and
5x.
X. Good. Did you guys all take out an X as well?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Last one to try. You try this one. Shh. Wow, you're fast. So fast. So fast. Manuel?
7
The MN is right. What else can go in?
2. 4. 6.
Who says 14? You're right, because 14 times 3 is 42.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
32.
What? The heck?
14 times 2 is 28, right? Add 14 more.
Isn't this kind of unfair? Because the numbers can be 3 and now if you give us a hard different number like 300 or something.
Then you use the calculator. All right.
But you won't let us.
So, yeah, I will. On bigger numbers, I will. All right. Shh. I hear a lot of talking. You guys need to stop. Okay, so that's factoring, right, in a nutshell. But now we have these linear expressions that we've been working with. Okay? No, that's not all. All right. So factoring linear expressions looks like this. Okay, so we have 8x. Shh, don't miss this. 8x plus 4y. Okay, so I know that I could take a 4 out of each of those, right? So that's saying 4, and if I take that from 8x, I get 2x, right? Left over? 4 times 2x is 8x. If I take 4 out of y, it's just 4 times y. Okay, then, don't miss it. Keep your eyes up here. Took 4 out of each. Now I can combine my parentheses. So I'm going to leave the 4 that I took out of each thing on the outside. And then put the 2x plus the y on the inside. This is called...
the other 4 out?
Yep. So I have 4. I have a pair, so I take it out. Just like we did a pair, right? Take it out, put it on the outside.
What happens if they're not a pair?
Then you can't do it. Then you would say not factorable. Sarah?
It doesn't have a pair.
How is that equal? Wait.
Let's see if it's equal to this. You want to check? These are great because you can check your work. So you always know. So she says, how is it equal? So let's try it. Let's redistribute. So what's 4 times 2x?
8x.
Uh-huh. And what's 4 times y?
9x.
4 times y. It's kind of like working backwards, right?
Yeah. 12.
So we have 4. We can take out of both. But you need to put in parentheses when you took it out. How do you put it back, you know? It's like dividing. Yes.
What if the previous model factor before x?
No, because there's no x on this. It's a y.
Wouldn't it just be 4 then?
It is 4. But now we're factoring the linear expression, so we have to include the linear expression in it. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so look, I did it there too. 3x plus 9. I know I can take a 3 out of both, right? Okay. So I can rewrite it as 3 times x plus 3 times 3. That would make the 9, right? So it's just basically you're dividing, right? And now I can take the 3 and put it on the outside. So what will be on the inside of the parentheses? X plus,
3.
take the 3 out.
18.
Take the 3 out. There's a pair.
I know it.
Rewrite the parentheses.
You know, it's like it.
Yeah, it takes some work. Okay. So the other way to do this, you guys, and some of you will like it better. Do you remember when I was showing you how to distribute and I drew that rectangle? It was like a box, like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can do it this way too if it helps you to figure it out better, okay? So you can draw a little box. It's called the area model. So on the inside you would write your 3x plus your 9. And then on the left you would write what the common factor is, and that's 3. And then on the top you could kind of work backwards. How do you go from 3 to 3x? Oh, you multiply by x. How do you go from 3 to 9? Oh, you multiply by 3. Do you see what I did? So if you like this little area model, you can use that. Before we didn't have the inside, we just did like the outside and multiplied. Now I'm giving you the inside and you can work backwards. Does that help some of you to have the box? Some of you like it. Let's look at this one real quick and do a box so we can see. Okay, so this one right here, we had 8x plus 4y, right? We said the GCF was 4. So to go from 4 to 8, from 4 to 8x, we multiply by 2x, right? To go from 4 to 4y, we multiply by y. And do you see we have that now, the 2x plus y? Okay? So some people like that better. I like the parentheses because it's easy just to put them back together. Let's try, let's look at another one. How about this one, 12x plus 7y? What's the GCF? Who says none? You're right. No common factors. Can't take anything out of that one, can you? There's no common factor of 12 and 7. We know that. And there's no common factor of x and y. They're totally different. It's like apples and oranges. So if you get one like that, you just write no common factors. A lot of you like when you get ones like that because you're like, whoo, I'm done. Right?
Yeah.
No extra work. All right. No common factors. We got it?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you guys to try a couple of these. You can use the box or you can use the parentheses. Up to you. I'll draw the box if that helps you. You can use this method. It's fine with me. Or you can just do the parentheses. But raise your hand when you think you know. Okay, Brock, you got it? 4 is the GCF, and then what goes on the top? What's in the parentheses? Do you know? No? What is it?
X and 7. X plus 7.
Plus?
Oh, minus.
Good. Raise your hand if you got that right. Good. Raise your hand if you use the box method. Raise your hand if you use parentheses. Either one's fine.
Why is it 7?
Because 4 goes into negative 28, negative 7 times. Okay? All right, let's try this one right here. This one's pretty easy. Yeah, common factor. Try this one. I think it's easier because there's no negatives. You can use the box if you want. If you use the box, this is how you set it up. Raise your hand when you know. Anastasia, what is the GCF?
3.
3. So if I put a 3 out here, did you get the rest of it? What goes in the parentheses?
X and then 11y.
Good. Raise your hand if you got that right. Good. So this is 3 times x makes 3x. 3 times 11y makes 33y. Yes, this is all on the quiz. Okay, here's the last example I want you to try on your own before we go into the book.
Wait, how will we know that which one's just like we just have to find like 4 and then x and we don't know?
It'll say factor it. It shouldn't take you very long. You just raise your hand when you think you know. Rachel?
There's no common factor.
Perfect. No common. Who knew that right away? Who was like trying to figure it out for a while? It's okay.
Wait,
No common factor.
can we abbreviate no common factor?
Sure, you could put no GCF.
Yeah.
All right. So I want you guys to try page 418 and 419. 418 is 1 through 6, and 419 is 11 through 14. Okay, so if you finish that before we go over it, you can do the homework. 418.
On 419, there's no 11.
There's not? Did I write it down wrong? Oh, I did. Let me figure it out. Oh, it's on... Yeah, I wrote this down wrong. Hold on. Yeah. Question? What? Yeah. This is 420, I think. Yeah. Because 11 is on 420, right? Yes. Yeah, because I want you guys to experiment with those rectangular problems. So try those.